Welcome to Flow Speak Studio, where English flows naturally. Let's start speaking with confidence.
You know what's interesting about real conversations? They don't wait for you to be ready. Life happens. Someone says something unexpected. Something feels off. Something confuses you. And in those moments, you don't need advanced English. You need emotional English.
Because reacting isn't about vocabulary lists. It's about knowing how to express confusion, curiosity, frustration, or understanding without sounding rude, without sounding robotic, and without losing yourself in the language.
That's why this episode exists.
Welcome to Flow Speak Studio, where we explore how native speakers react naturally in everyday situations and what these reactions really mean beneath the surface. No shortcuts, no summaries, just real meaning.
Let's begin with a phrase that sounds small but carries a lot of emotional intelligence. Kinda weird. Kinda weird. On the surface, it simply means something feels strange, but emotionally, this phrase lives in a very specific space.
Kinda weird is used when something doesn't fully add up, but you don't want to escalate the situation. You're not accusing, you're not judging, you're noticing.
Native speakers choose this phrase because it keeps the door open. For example, he canceled at the last minute. Kinda weird. That sentence doesn't say he's irresponsible. It says something feels off and I'm processing it.
It's emotional restraint, and emotional restraint is a sign of confidence in English. Now let's talk about a phrase that invites conversation. Do tell. Do tell. This phrase is short, but it's rich in intention.
At its core, do tell means I'm listening, I want more, but it also signals curiosity, engagement, and sometimes playful skepticism.
For example, you met her again after all that? Do tell. The speaker isn't interrupting, they're leaning in.
Tone matters here. Warm tone, genuine interest. Flat tone, doubt. Playful tone, curiosity mixed with surprise. This phrase teaches you that English lives in tone, not just words. This phrase shows up when experiences are heavy. Long story short. Long story short. People think it's about summarizing. It's not.
It's about emotional management. When someone says long story short, they're saying there was chaos, there were complications, but I don't want to relive it.
Long story short, the project failed. That one sentence carries frustration, effort, maybe disappointment, without explaining every detail.
It's emotional efficiency. This phrase is one of the most powerful tools in English conversation. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. And this is crucial. It does not mean agreement.
It means, I understand your perspective. I recognize your logic. I respect your experience, even if you disagree.
For example, I see what you mean, but I don't think it would work for me. That sentence keeps conversations calm and mature.
People don't need you to agree with them. They need you to understand them. This phrase carries frustration, but controlled frustration. For heaven's sake. For heaven's sake.
It's used when patience is wearing thin, but you still want to sound socially acceptable. It replaces stronger language.
For example, for heaven's sake, just be honest. Another example is, for heaven's sake, can't you clean your room for once? The emotion is real, but it's filtered.
Curiously, how come? How come? This is a gentle way to ask why.
How come removes pressure. How come you left early? Sounds more human than why did you leave early?
For example, how come you're not coming with us to the party? It invites explanation, not defense.
This phrase protects your intention. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
It signals, I'm about to say something delicate. I don't want to be misunderstood.
For example, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the offer. Another example, don't get me wrong, I like the movie, but the ending for me was bad. It softens what comes next.
Firm, serious. The next idiom is bite the bullet. Bite the bullet. This phrase is about acceptance.
This phrase is about acceptance. It means choosing discomfort now instead of prolonged stress later.
For example, I didn't want to do it, but I had to bite the bullet. Or, what's happening to me is hard, but I had to bite the bullet. It's about courage, not desire.
Before we continue, let's take a breath. Because what we're doing here isn't memorizing expressions. We're learning how to exist in English without losing ourselves.
And every expression you're about to hear solves a very real emotional problem: confusion, pressure, hope, annoyance, support. This is everyday life in English.
Let's start this part with something gentle. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. On the surface, it's a phrase about luck, but emotionally, it goes much deeper.
Fingers crossed is what you say when you've already done everything you can. There's effort behind it. There's vulnerability behind it. You're admitting, I don't control the outcome.
For example, I sent the application, fingers crossed. That sentence carries hope, anxiety, patience, all at once.
Native speakers use this phrase to share uncertainty without sounding weak. It's quiet optimism. This phrase is about encouragement. Keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. But it's not empty motivation.
It's used when someone's going through disappointment and you want to offer strength, not advice. You're not saying be positive. You're saying, I see your pain and you'll survive it.
Things didn't work out, but keep your chin up. It respects the struggle.
This phrase creates emotional solidarity, and that's why it feels genuine. Now let's move to something visual, spitting image. Spitting image. This phrase means someone looks exactly like someone else, but it's stronger than similar.
Spitting image implies surprise. It's often said when resemblance is undeniable. For example, she's the spitting image of her mother.
There's often affection behind it. It's not just about appearance, it's about connection and identity.
This one is emotionally charged. Put a sock in it. Put a sock in it. It means stop talking, but how and when you use it matters a lot.
This phrase is rarely used seriously. It often appears in playful arguments or joking frustration.
Oh, put a sock in it. You're impossible. The relationship determines if it's funny or rude.
This phrase teaches you an important lesson. English expressions carry social risk, and native speakers choose carefully. Let's soften the mood. Pulling someone's leg. Pulling someone's leg. This phrase is about humor, but not sarcasm, not lies.
It means joking in a harmless way. You say it when someone believes something untrue, and you want to reassure them.
Relax, I'm just pulling your leg. Or somebody's pulling your leg. That sentence repairs trust.
It signals safety. It tells the listener you're not being attacked.
This phrase lives in the space of skepticism. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. But it's not negativity. It means don't fully accept this as truth. Be cautious, not dismissive.
He tends to exaggerate, so take it with a grain of salt. Or I have to take it with a grain of salt. It questions information, not people.
This phrase protects you from disappointment without making you cynical. Let's end the expressions with something intense. Drive me up the wall. Drive me up the wall. This phrase expresses deep annoyance, but it's still conversational.
It's used when irritation has built over time, not one moment, repetition.
For example, that constant noise drives me up the wall, or you're driving me up the wall. There's exhaustion in that sentence.
It's emotional honesty without aggression.
If you listen closely to these expressions, you'll notice something important. They don't try to impress. They don't sound advanced. They don't sound academic. They sound lived in.
This is the kind of English people use when they're tired, hopeful, annoyed, unsure, or supportive. This is English when no one is performing.
And that's why learning expressions like these matters, because fluency isn't about speaking faster. It's about speaking truer.
If you've ever stayed quiet in a conversation because you didn't know how to react in English, now you do. Not perfectly, not dramatically, but honestly.
Use these phrases gently. Use them when they feel right. And remember, your English doesn't need to be flawless to be meaningful.
This was Flow Speak Studio. Thank you for listening, for staying, and for growing with us.
Until the next episode, keep flowing.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment down below.